Hi, I'd like to share a story that is very personal to me, and I hope that it helps other individuals out there understand how to forgive, and for those who are seeking adoption, I hope this helps out. My story begins when I was born in the year 1975. I was about 3 months old when I was given up for adoption. From what I have gathered in the past is that they left me in a crib for days at a time without any food, just left me there, pretty much neglected. I was told that CPS was the reason for me being given up for adoption. I think what actually happened was my parents were so upset that I had this problem called colic. It's when your stomach is upset and you cry continuously. And I think they didn't know what to do with me. So I think they called the authorities, and somehow they found me in a playpen alone with a full diaper and very malnourished. You know, my parents were on drugs. They used to do meth, and I think that was a huge reason why I was left alone, because they had other things to do. As a child, I grew up knowing that I was burned on my legs. They would burn me, and they would light a match like this and use cigarettes. And I have burn marks on both of my knees through my further education, that people who are on meth, when they burn on both sides. So that explains why I have a burn mark on my left knee and I have a burn mark on my right knee. I was taken to a foster care home, and where they helped, they gave me some food, and they brought me back, I guess you would say, brought me back to life. It was not too long after that I was adopted. I've always known that I was adopted. Never was ashamed of it or anything like that. And I didn't really care to meet my parents at all, my birth parents, for a very long time, until I believe I was in my early 30s, I want to say, and I visited the location where I was adopted, the adoption agency, and I asked if I could reach my parents, and the lady said that it was a closed adoption, and the only way that I would be able to reach my parents was either if they wrote to the agency themselves, or I could leave a note for them. Neither of those had occurred. But she did tell me that there was a lady that looked out for individuals like myself and helped them find their parents. I contacted her and gave her the information that I knew, which I didn't know much, but I did know when I was born, and I gave that information to her and where I was born. In 2 days, she emailed me and said, "I found your birth mother and your father." I knew I had a half sister. I knew that, but I did not know that I had a full-blooded sister, and that really surprised me. I was really excited. I wrote them the same day I got the information, and actually I was going up to the Bay Area to visit some friends, and on the way to the Bay Area, I went to go visit where my mother lived in Sacramento. I had to go there. I needed to go see where she lived. So on our way to the Bay Area, we stopped and found where she lived, and circled the location. It was like in an apartment, and went back to the Bay Area, headed on back. And later on that Saturday, I received a phone call from my sister, my full-blooded sister, and she said that she was my sister, and that she had been she had been looking to meet me. The next day, I headed up to Sacramento to meet my mother and my sister and my half sister. We actually met in at an IHOP, and it was very very strange. I'm so thankful that I was able to meet them, because for the longest time I was alone. And this is where I want to talk to those people who are adopted, and no one understands how someone feels alone, because everyone around them, even though they're your adopted family, you just feel alone. And it's once you meet those people, you feel complete. Even though you might not have a strong connection other than the blood, you're able to see who you look like. And I think that was one of the huge components that I was missing in my life. I just wanted to know who I looked like. Did I act like my mother? Did I act like my father? What kind of traits did I have of theirs? And I was able to meet them, and it was great. I actually was able to walk my sister down the aisle for her wedding not too long after that. My sister didn't know my father either. He had left. She is 2 years younger than I am, and he left my mother, and we were able to find him, I believe, in a day or two. And my adopted mother actually had some extra frequent flyer miles that she wanted to help us with, and have him fly from Texas to Sacramento. It was so funny. I started laughing because he looks just like me. He just has a cowboy hat on. It was hilarious. My sister and I, we bought him a watch, and we engraved a saying on the back, and we gave it to him. And we spent the weekend together as a family. It was my mother, my birth mother, my birth father, my sister, and I. We actually went to go take family portraits, something I've never done before. And it's ironic that it would happen with my blood family. It felt very surreal. It was very weird, but it felt right too. My father suffers from bipolar disorder. We were in a restaurant once. I think it was that Saturday. We were hanging out, and we were talking, we were laughing, and then all of a sudden he gets up and leaves. So thank goodness I didn't have to deal with that growing up. We went dancing that night. Yeah, again, very weird. What family goes out dancing together? I don't know too many that do that, but I used to like going dancing, and we decided to go out to a club/bar in Sacramento, and my dad was telling me that he could out dance me and everything, which was funny because once I got on the dance floor, he kind of took that back. That was funny. For those who are looking to adopt, please do it, because you never know what type of individual you're going to be getting. You're saving that person's life. I want to say that because I was adopted, I was given a second chance. I can only imagine what I would be like if I wasn't adopted. My mother who adopted me and my father who adopted me gave me the love that I needed to survive, because even as an infant, when you're left alone, you become a recluse. And I think that has a lot to do with why I am the way I am. I love being one-on-one with people. I don't like to be the center of attention, and I definitely don't like to be around a ton of people. And throughout the years, I've really studied why that is the case, and it's just a matter of going back to my childhood when I was very, very young. I was left alone, and no one was there to love me. My mother passed a couple of years ago, and my birth father passed, I want to say about 5 years ago. And I'm just very happy that I was able to meet both of them. The first time when I went to go spend time with my sister and my mother, I spent the time with my mother. I took a week off. I was in between jobs, and I decided to go over to Sacramento to spend the week with them. And in doing so, I stayed with my mom, and I stayed, I slept in her apartment, and I didn't know she had seizures. She suffered from seizures. So I'm in bed, I hear this thump on the ground, and it's my mom going into a seizure. It's the first time I met her. Actually the second time I've seen her. I'm there making sure that she doesn't hit anything, making sure her head is not hitting the coffee table. And in my mind, I'm like, when she gets out of this, is she gonna know who I am? I was pretty scared because I didn't know if she would remember who I was and think I was some stranger. Luckily, that wasn't the case, but it could have gone very sour. That was a very, very awkward moment, because for my safety, at least, because I didn't know. She suffers from schizophrenia as well. So I'm just thank God that he put me in the hands that he put me in, and I want to say that it was because of my cough as a young infant that allowed me to be adopted. Because who knows, maybe if I didn't have that colic, maybe I wouldn't been neglected. Maybe I would have stayed with them because my other two sisters stayed with them, and maybe that's the reason why they gave me up, and I am where I am today. I just hope that I'm able to help people understand that you have a second chance in life when you are adopted, and it's you should feel very blessed to be chosen by those couples that did choose you, because you are chosen. You are the chosen one. Have faith in God for all things, because if you try to figure things out on your own, trust me, you're not gonna figure it out. Just be patient, have faith, and have hope. If you're a parent that is looking to adopt, I hope this helps you, because it's helped me.